Welcome back to In the Box. I'm Sandy Plashkis. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at OwnersBox and head down below to like, comment, and subscribe to let YouTube know that we are fire.
Welcome to In the Box. The interns are back for our weekly NFL week recap.
There you go.
And we got the new cave going on.
Yep. We moved
offices. It was a big deal in the office. A lot of people weren't a fan of us moving.
Sorry to customer service.
But after they saw what the room looks like, everyone seems pleased that we've moved.
It's unbelievable.
It's a great room. We got jerseys.
Yep.
What's your favorite jersey up there?
All of mine.
All of yours?
Yeah.
I provided one jersey, and it was Altuve.
Worst one there.
Worst one there, definitely, because he's a cheater. But I'd like to announce that we have officially started an OwnersBox TikTok account.
Yep. Your pride and joy, your TikTok.
So we will be running TikTok. Make sure you follow us at OwnersBox. We'll be posting podcast clips, player highlights, and a lot of fun stuff.
All the good stuff.
A lot of content behind the scenes.
We're trying to get famous.
Yes, and that's how you start.
Yep.
So let's go right into the games. So first game was Thursday night. Talk about what happened last week. We forgot to recap the Thursday night game.
Sorry to my boys out in Kansas. Sam, this is for you. We just forgot to talk about my favorite team, which is bad luck for me. But I'm going to wear this one, and we're going to talk about the Thursday night games on Mondays.
Everyone's got to bear with us. You know,
We're
that was a
learning.
rookie mistake. Like
100%.
we were pissed off after we took that criticism
Couldn't sleep.
hard, and now we're going right into Thursday night football. So first game,
The shit bowl.
yeah, we had shit bowl. I don't know. I like the game.
Pretty good game, actually.
Yeah. So we had Browns won 35-30 against the Bengals. Bengals had a late TD. Couple highlights were Baker was on a mission. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
I saw before the game on that first drive, he wouldn't even talk to anyone on the sidelines.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's on a mission. He went 16 for 23.
No, I mean he was on a mission, like he was locked. Like he
Looked locked in.
you know when he looks locked in, I mean he didn't have that good of a game.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah. I mean I know what you mean. Like he's not actually on a mission, but his attitude's on a mission.
Okay. He woke up feeling dangerous.
Yeah. He woke up feeling dangerous.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't though. But I thought the Bengals just they need some, I guess, more weeks, but they're just not there.
Joe Burrow can't throw the ball 61 times every game.
Yeah. So
He's going to need Tommy John.
Joe Mixon needs to play better. He didn't have a good year last year. He was not good this week. Week 3 is going to have to be a bounce back week for him, or I don't even know what the Bengals do at that point. What do you do if Joe Mixon has another bad week?
They can't do anything.
He's their number one. I mean, they're going to have to change something in that offense. I was not happy with Joe Burrow throwing the ball so much to A.J. Green. I mean, I got here. He had 13 targets and 3 receptions. I think I saw 3 times where he dropped passes right to the hands. I mean, you have a good receiver in Tyler Boyd. Why not throw him the ball?
That's your boy.
That's my boy. He's on my fantasy team. I mean, Tyler Boyd had that was a nasty touchdown pass. You saw that at the end of the game?
Yeah.
2 feet got in there. Tyler Boyd's good. I think he needs to throw the ball more to him. I don't know about you.
I think A.J. Green's the big name there. Mm-hmm. Based on reputation, that's who you want to throw to. And as of right now, it doesn't look like he should be the number one guy getting the ball for the Bengals.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And do you think, Chubb had a big bounce back game. We were talking about people need to be patient with him. He had one bad game, and he came to play. That guy's a beast. He's a
22
beast.
carries, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, 10 carries, 86 yards for a touchdown. That seems like how the Browns are going to have to play to win.
Yes. Now that comes to my question. It came up during the game. A broadcast said, "Do you think Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb are the best 1-2 duo in the back end in the NFL?"
Probably. I think Kareem Hunt's, I heard them say on the broadcast, definitely the best backup. I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. But yeah, I do think they're very good, and I think they're probably the best one too.
Yeah. I
take that back.
Who do you think's the
The
best?
Ravens. Ingram and Dobbins, I think, are better.
I'd have to disagree with that.
That's fine.
I think Kareem Hunt's got such good receiving skills. You
Yeah.
add that to the mix. Nick Chubb's so good on the ground. It's like a perfect duo.
Yeah.
But okay, let's
We'll have
move
to
on.
see how this one plays out.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the year, we'll see who has the most fantasy points, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Now we had the Giants and the Bears. That was a terrible game.
I have some thoughts.
Okay, what are your thoughts? So wait, score.
Go through.
So I'll go through the stats. So Bears won 17-13. Bears just climbing out victories now. Mitch was terrible, 2 interceptions. Allen Robinson was a big kind of name coming in because of him being in the news about unfollowing every single teammate on social media.
In a trade.
Saquon Barkley is out for the year.
Yeah.
It's big news. So now the question is, who's the next back that everyone should be targeting in fantasy sports?
I don't think they should be targeting them because Deion Lewis isn't getting the job done like Saquon Barkley is. Mm-hmm. And I don't trust the Giants offense, so maybe find someone else from a different team because I don't think the Giants are going to be the one you want to tail.
Freeman was in talks. Do you think that they would actually go for him or no?
Probably. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the game?
Thoughts on the game? Bears up 17-0 in the first half. Then Saquon gets hurt, done for the game, and they just can't put the Giants away, which kind of seems like Mitch was good in the first half. Mitch was bad in the second half.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite of last week. So it's still early in the year, but they're going to need to be able to put teams away or else they're going to end up 8-8.
Yeah. I don't think the Bears are going to be that good this year. I mean, they're 2-0, but they just haven't. I mean, I think they haven't played a good team.
The MO of good teams, though, is finding a way to win no matter what.
Yeah.
And if they're going to keep doing this, you can't call them a bad team.
Yeah,
but
I can't call them shit yet.
we're 2 weeks in. Their defense was good. Their O-line was good. Montgomery was hurt for a little bit. He looked good again. Mm-hmm. But Mitch, 18 for 28.
Oh, man.
190 yards. That's not great.
That doesn't cut the Bills.
But it won them the game.
It won them the game. So we'll see what happens in week 3.
Yeah,
that's a statement game. If they win week 3,
I need another week on the Bears before I come to a conclusion on what I think. But I think it's pretty obvious the Giants are shit.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, I think he's the best quarterback in New York right now, in New York City.
Yeah.
But the Giants are shit.
Yeah, I don't think the Giants haven't shown anything. I mean, now you have Barkley out. I mean, they got no chance. So we'll see what happens there on their back end. But fantasy sports people should keep an eye out for target those on waiver wire this week. Deion Lewis is probably going to get more touches either way.
Yeah.
So next we're going to a red hot team, potential contender. The Cardinals beat the Washington football team 30-15. Kyler Murray was really good again.
He's our boy.
Yeah, he's
That's
using his legs more and more now. 3 touchdowns, 286 passing yards, 67 rushing yards. Hopkins had another strong game. He got his first touchdown of the year, 8 receptions, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Do you think the Cardinals are a team now, are a top team in this league, or no?
No. No. They had a statement win week 1, win against a not-so-good team week 2. I need some more time. They're going to play those divisional opponents. They're going to get the Seahawks twice.
Yep.
Niners one more time. Yeah, it's going to be tough for them. It's a great start. Their defense has played well, which was the big question mark for me coming in. No, I like them. Kyler's playing the MVP level.
Yep.
At an MVP level, he's probably top 5 for me and potential MVP candidates. He's not top 1, 2, or 3, but I think he's been really good. They're fun to watch, which is something we thought would happen.
Yep.
And it's just nice to have another explosive offense.
I think they could be a team. I mean, they haven't really played. I guess they upset the 49ers in first week, but I have to see them against the Seahawks to determine if they're actually legit. But I like Kyler. I mean, 26 for 38 doesn't doesn't wow me, but I like that he uses his legs. That's the threat right there.
Yeah, that does enough for me though. 26 for 38 for 285, 286. You win games like that.
Yeah, and give credit to Washington's line. That Kenyon Drake was stopped pretty well during the game. So Washington's defense is still looking, at least their run defense is looking still very strong.
Chase Young again, another big week for him. I like him as a defensive rookie of the year candidate. Probably the favorite for me. But that line's good. I said it from the start. They'll be good all year.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the Ravens game. Ravens won 33 against the Texans 16. I have 3 things about this game. 1, Ravens are good. 2,
Hot take.
David Johnson is poo.
Really?
Well, he had a poo game. 11 carries for 34 yards.
Yeah.
Is not good. And then 3 is Brandon Cooks going to have a bounce back here. He had 5 receptions for 95 yards.
You want me to comment on those?
Yes.
I think the Ravens are really good.
Yeah.
I got some points. I took them at minus 10.5. It's a little bit of a sweat there. I thought we were going to get a backdoor cover on that line. I didn't. One big plus odds. Great call by me, obviously. David Johnson, he's playing against such a good defense. Like Calais Campbell on the line now. They're so good. You can't call them shit after playing as the Ravens. So I think you go from playing a bad Chiefs run defense to a really good Ravens run defense. So you're not going to see more of the high end stuff or the low end shit. I think we got to average him out a little bit. And I don't think he's poo. I think you're wrong on that.
Okay.
And Brandon Cooks, he doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
I think he could have a bounce back year. It's just they have such a hard start to the year.
Oh yeah, that sucks for them.
I mean,
that
you
blows.
see that on your schedule, and you're just like, "Fuck me."
You're just like, this is bullshit. This sucks.
That's tough. So I think
I'm looking to bet the Texans next week. I
Yeah.
mean, they need a win. So
I think they'll get back to 2-2. Bill O'Brien's coaching for his job, basically.
yeah, a lot of chirps thrown around Twitter on them.
Yeah, it's like you can't trade
Yeah.
Hopkins and then you start 0-2 and you looks like you could use them. Like that's the one thing that they need.
Yeah.
But Ravens defense is really good. Their offense is really good. Lamar, I mean, let's read his stats here. 18 for 24 passing, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, and then 54 yards on the ground. Not a huge game for him, but he just spread the wealth. Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins were really good. Marquise Brown, good game. They're good, man. They're really good, and I'm excited for next week when they play the Chiefs.
That's going to be a hell of a game.
We can
It's got to
see.
be game of the week.
Yeah, definitely for me. We're gonna have to see how that plays out, but I'm excited. They're good.
I think they're. I mean, looking like it's even more reassuring now. Like watching them play now, like everyone still has that playoff game in their head, and like just seeing them, it's like everyone kind of like I forgot like. Man, these guys are so good and how dominant they were last year. So I think they're going to keep that up. I think next week's going to be a hell of a game between those two. That will be potentially one of the top games of the year, looking back. So looking forward to that. Now we move to the team they're playing next week, the Chiefs, with a kind of a, they didn't look too strong or Chiefs, Avery, but they pulled it out with a 23-20 win. In overtime, the kicker is
Harrison
insane.
Butker, the
I
hero.
did not think he was. I didn't think he was like.
And the butt kicker's been good.
I mean, when you hit 258, technically, let's just say 358 yarders, because when they iced him, he nailed it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guy can kick. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, plus you have I'm looking at he's the top kicker in the league right now. I mean, Justin Tucker, how far can he kick?
He's good too.
I think it's more of a consistency thing with Justin Tucker because he doesn't usually go for 58 yarders, does he?
No, because if they're short distance, 4th and less than 5, that offense usually is going for it.
That's true. You have Lamar who can run.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kickers. You can't say they're the best kicker. It's just a week-to-week type thing.
Yeah.
He had a great week. He did what he had to do. Super impressive. looking at the Chiefs, Mahomes completed 27 passes out of 47 attempts,
That was an electric pass.
which is
to Hill.
unlike him, though.
No.
Let's go. That first half was brutal.
Yeah. It was tough to watch.
They only had 6 points. And Justin Herbert, I took them minus 8.5. I thought, no way if Tyrod Taylor's playing. The Chargers look shit against the Bengals. So bad. So
bad.
I thought, no way. Justin Herbert starts. He looks like he's going to be a problem in this league for a long time.
He looked good for his first career start.
And then Anthony Lynn saying that Tyrod Taylor's still the starter. I mean, just shake your head. Give your head a shake.
Drugs.
Drugs.
So you call the issue there.
I mean, I know by principle, that's what they said all year. But if your rookie quarterback's going for 311 yards, 22 completions, and the offense looked good, they look dynamic. He made one rookie mistake where he could have run for a first down, but ended up throwing a pick.
Yeah, that was in the red zone, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think he was in the red zone. It was
He
close,
was on
though.
the 40.
Yeah. And then he threw it close to the end zone, maybe 10-yard line that they picked. Willie Snead, second pick of the year, second-round pick, Louisiana Tech. L'Jarius Snead, not Willie Snead. They look...
I mean,
it was so hard.
I'm putting
to
it this
watch.
way. I mean, Keenan Allen's a veteran on that team.
Yeah.
And he plays way better with him under quarterback. He had 7 receptions for 96 yards. You got to think he's knocking on his coach's door saying, okay, like, we probably should start him. We almost beat the defending champs. Like, so I think they have to start him. If they don't, the coach is going to get a lot of shit, especially if they get their ass kicked next week. But that's something that's going to be a big topic going into week 2.
Yeah. Good luck to the Chargers, man. Hope they don't win too many games.
And I would like to note that every fantasy owner should look to add Kelly to their roster.
Yeah. You like Josh Kelly?
Yes. And he's getting as many carries close to Eckler. That guy is getting on the field a lot, and he usually gets the carries in the red zone because he's a bigger body than Eckler.
Yeah. Eckler's still getting those passing attempts, though.
Eckler still, I mean, he had like 16, 17 points in fantasy. He didn't even have a touchdown. So he's still getting up there. He was utilized more with Herbert other than Tyrod. I mean, Tyrod's just bringing everyone down, apparently. So we'll see what happens with his chest. Apparently he had chest pains. I don't know what it was from, but anyways. All right, let's go to the Rams. Rams win, look strong again. They win against the Eagles 37-19. Tight end on the Rams had 3 touchdowns. Higbee. Are the Rams legit?
I said last week I thought they were going to be good. Mm-hmm. And again, they showed me that they're going to be good, I think, this year.
They got so many threats on that offense. Like, people forget. I mean, you have Higbee now is looking like, is he a top 3 tight end now, you think? Or top 5 at least?
I mean, I'd throw him in at 5, maybe. He had a good week. Really, really good week. I mean, who else is catching 3 touchdown passes this week?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
So that's kind of an anomaly for 3. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes a couple weeks without catching one now, and like it'll add up. That's a huge week. He only had 5 receptions, so it's not like he had a 12 reception game.
Yeah.
He had 5 receptions. 3 of them were touchdowns. They just schemed it up well. They got him the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
Good for him. Rams look great. I like them. The jerseys still fucking suck. Don't like those. Those won't change. The Eagles, it was funny when they piped in the crowd noise at their home stadium and they're booing the team.
What type of flex is that?
I mean, it's just those Philly scumbags just doing what they do best.
Yeah, booing their own quarterback and no fans.
Miles Sanders looked good, though, I thought, coming back from injury. 95 yards on the ground with a touchdown. They got Deshaun Watson the ball more. He played more snaps, 9 targets, the most by any receiver. And Carson Wentz just can't catch a break, man.
I mean, he had 2 interceptions again. So I don't know.
One was a great play in the end zone.
Yeah.
It's tough for him.
Yeah, he's going to get roasted if they lose next week. But the Rams it's going to be a hell of a game next week, too, against the Bills. It's going to be a good game.
You think so, eh?
Yes, it's going to be a great game. We got some good games next week. Let's go to the best game of of the day. Falcons, Dallas. Dallas comes all the way back to win 40-39 in a thriller. Dak looked unreal in the second half. I mean, that's why I picked him in the top 5. I mean, I think a lot of people have him top 5. Did you? Fantasy purposes?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. He had 450 yards. CD Lamb looked strong. He looked like he might be getting more catches every week. He had 106 yards. I mean, Michael Gallup, I think, has got to be the biggest disappointment on that roster right now. I mean, CD Lamb looks like he might be a guy who might take over for Gallup at 2.
Yeah, I don't think you can call that a disappointment.
I mean,
think if you're a fantasy owner of Michael Gallup, as I am, you're disappointed that he's not getting those touches. I didn't start him this week. I think CD Lamb is taking over as the clear number 2, if not number 1.
Yeah, I mean, there was people talking about Gallup taking over Amari Cooper's spot. Yeah, that's a disappointment where it's like he's a wide receiver, a good wide receiver too, and I think he falls to a weak wide receiver too now with CD Lamb getting more touches.
Yeah, so CD Lamb is explosive. He's another one of those young rookies, Oklahoma. I like watching him play. The Cowboys were so bad offensively in the first half. They couldn't have made any more mistakes, and they somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, Zeke had 2 fumbles early in the game. Yeah. That doesn't happen often. Calvin Ridley for the Falcons. How about that? I mean, he's on a tear right now. He has 4 touchdowns in 2 games. He had 109 yards receiving yesterday. Is he legit? Do we think Calvin Ridley can keep up this pace?
Yes, I think he can. I like him more than Julio. I said it at the start of the year. I liked him more than Julio. He's proven me right. Makes me look good. I'm proud of him. 2 touchdowns. You got to be disappointed if you're a Falcons fan, though. What the fuck happened?
That's just a terrible start to the year for them. That's just
0-2. It was 99.9% chance of them winning the game. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, do you fire your coach?
No, you can't. Well,
yes, you can.
You can. You're right. But they decided not to fire Dan Quinn at the end of last year.
Yeah.
So they decided that Dan Quinn's the guy. They're writing off the year if they fire him within these next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I think they are. They can salvage it. Maybe it's only 2 losses, but it's hard. They put their trust in Dan Quinn, and it's not going well.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is sledding 68 points in 2 games, so that needs to be something needs to be cleaned back there because the offense has been unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think Calvin Ridley will finish with more fantasy points than Julio Jones at the end of the year?
Yes.
Okay, that's a hot
That's all
take.
I need to say. But I'm going to be riding the Falcons overs for sure next week.
But they're gonna be high now every week. They're looking at these. I think I saw it at 53.5 for next week.
Okay, but there were 79 points scored in their last game.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you always think it's gonna go over and then it goes under.
Just the numbers that are ridiculously high, I just take them anyways.
Okay. Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Okay. For some excitement.
Yeah.
Now we have Tom Brady. He won his first game as a Buck, 31-17 over the Panthers. That was kind of it looks close, but the Bucks had it won pretty early. I mean, they came out with a hot start, and then the Panthers kind of climbed back and gave them a scare. Tom was pretty vocal that they need to be better, and so was Bruce Arians. Mike Evans had a big bounce-back game. Fournette, we talked about this. He had the most carries on the team. He went from 5 carries to 12 this week, 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. Is he the guy now?
He was always the guy. We knew Bruce Arians was lying.
Yeah.
He's a liar. We've seen the articles. He likes to lie.
Articles?
Articles, multiple. He would always say, he said Peyton Barber was going to be the guy. Then Ronald Jones took over. He said Ronald Jones is going to be the guy. Now Fournette's getting the majority of the carries. He's just saying that to save his ass to the players. He doesn't mean what he says. Kind of scumbag move, Bruce, but...
What's wrong with Bruce Arians? Why does he have this sort of cocky attitude right now? He's calling out Tom Brady. Who is this guy?
He did last week, and look how it paid off. I think this week I heard him say that it was the receivers he was calling out. Scotty Miller dropped one in the end zone. LaShawn McCoy dropped one in the end zone. He thought Tom could have had 400 yards, and he only had 217.
Yeah, and the defense looked amazing. That Bucs defense, we didn't see much against the Saints, but this week they were on fire. They had a great game. I mean, they put up good fantasy points. Yeah, and those jerseys look good. You had that tweet there that they look like the longest yard.
No,
that was the Falcons.
The Falcons look like the longest yard jerseys.
You know what, though? Looking at it, the Buccaneers also kind of, don't you think?
No.
Okay. Next game, we have the 49ers against the Jets. I mean, the 49 Jimmy started off. He finished 19-20. He got injured, but I mean, they were killing them at the start. Raheem Moser had since when is he the fastest player in the NFL?
He got a nice back wind to push him to the end zone that quickly.
What did he get clocked at? Like 23.6 miles per hour?
Pretty quick.
That's pretty fast. So I didn't know that at all. I don't know if anyone else knew that. So what do you think is the over and under for wins for the Jets?
For the Jets,
because
right
they look
now,
terrible.
I'm going to go 3.5 is the over-under. I think they get 2 against the Dolphins.
Yeah. 2 against the Dolphins. They only play them twice.
Yeah, 2 wins.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who else they're going to beat.
Yeah, I'm going 5.5.
5.5. And you're taking what? The over or the under?
The under. If it was 5.5, I'd take the under.
What are you taking the under at 4.5?
The over. That makes no sense. But I will take 5. I think they'll get 5 wins this year. That's my bet. I mean, Bell will come back. I mean, the IR rules changed, so he can come back in week 5.
Yeah.
So when he comes back, I think.
Who?
Le'Veon Bell.
Okay. You just said he.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. So a couple injuries, though. I mean, what do you think of Jimmy? You think he's legit or no?
Yeah, they're bitching about the turf, that MetLife turf. They're going to Virginia or something to wait, and then they're going back to play the Giants next week. There seem to be way too many ACL injuries in that one.
Yeah, holy crap.
Nick Bosa went down.
Yeah, he's out for the year. That's massive.
Yeah, another lineman went down. Jimmy's ankle sprain. Maybe they have a legitimate gripe with the turf there, and they might be right.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna. They're not gonna be happy about going to play at the same stadium again next week. That's for sure.
No, that's something to keep your eye out because there was a lot of injuries in that game. So we'll keep our eyes out on that. Next game, the Steelers won 26-21 against the Broncos. Big story is Sutherland is out for the year. Who steps up? You think Jerry Jeudy can be their guy? Like, would he be a wide receiver
Sutton.
one? Is his name Cortland Sutton?
Sutton.
I got that completely wrong.
Close.
Sutherland. Yeah, same start. The name.
You can't fucking read.
I have Sutherland in my notes.
It's Sutton. Sutton.
Sutton. That's not even close.
No.
So Sutton is out for the year. Do you think Jerry Jeudy is actually is he wide receiver 1 now?
Yeah, he is.
That's crazy to give to a rookie wide receiver. Like Noah Fant's gonna have a large role now.
My boy, Noah. Yeah, I'm excited for him. Drew Lock.
Yeah, he's out now. What?
2 to 6 weeks.
And who's the backup?
Jeff Driscoll. He went 18 for 34, 256. The Broncos are fucked. I'm gonna say it. They looked promising at the start of the year.
Oh man.
But they're fucked. Yeah, I got nothing to say.
Sorry, Broncos fans, but you guys are. Oh man.
Steelers. They did what they had to do. Ben aired it out one time.
He threw the ball around to everyone.
But it was one of those ugly games playing down in the competition type thing. James Conner out-touched Benny Snell by 13.
He's their guy. I mean, they didn't change
Which
it.
we knew.
We knew, but people were like, get Benny Snell, get Benny Snell.
Yeah.
And they just shut that right down. He had a good game. So, James Conner, big comeback. People were talking shit on his name. Not myself, but some people were around the office.
Who was that?
Sandy.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Next game, Jags-Titans. Fun game to watch. I mean, Titans pulled it off, 33-30. I mean, are the Jaguars, like the big thing to take away is the Jaguars are not the worst team in the NFL.
Certainly not. I think
Everyone thought they were going to be like,
those-
everyone was like bet against, like, those suicide pools.
Yeah.
It's like, there's always that one team where you're like, just pick any team that plays them. And everyone thought it was going to be the Jaguars, but they're actually decent.
they just said fuck tanking and they're just going for it all.
Yeah. I mean, you got the biggest beauty ever as your quarterback, Gardner Minshew. I mean, that guy's a nail gun.
Yeah. What a performance from him.
Yeah, he had a great game. Tannehill played well too. He had 4 touchdown passes.
Tannehill just somehow got really good after his time in Miami.
Oh man, he was so bad in Miami.
And last year wasn't great,
No.
but did the job. And then this year he's just taking a big step.
Yeah, so Titans are now 2-0. A big thing I took away here was the tight end on the Titans might be a big value at tight end.
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns. I mean, he looked good. I was watching the game. He's a big body.
Yeah. Tannehill throws it up there for him to catch it.
Tannehill loves targeting him in the end zone. It seems like he's his favorite guy. So I think A.J. Brown didn't have a very good game. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't have a good game in the week 1, so that's could be a major disappointment for fantasy owners.
Yeah,
Corey Davis has been playing better than him, I believe.
Yeah, he didn't have a great game either. It was Adam Humphries who had a decent game.
Yeah.
In that number 2 slot.
So they
there.
got some good weapons at the front end there for Tannehill. So I don't think A.J. Brown. I think he was valued too high, to be honest, in drafts, his ADP, because I think they have too many weapons up there. And Tannehill's not a type of guy who just targets one guy. He usually throws it around. He's a tight end type of QB, especially when you have Derrick Henry, who averages almost over 25 carries a game.
Yeah.
So
he was 25 this week. He hasn't had that huge Derrick Henry game yet. So it's kind of scary for people playing the Titans if Tannehill's going to play that well. When Derrick Henry doesn't play that well, then that offense is going to be real successful this year.
Yeah. Now let's move on to Sandy's Packers. They beat the Lions 42-21. Kind of a scare for the Packers at the start. Lions came out hot. Aaron Jones just had a beast of a game. I mean, 3 touchdowns, 168 rushing yards, 68 receiving yards. He had a 75-yard electric run.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe he was second in fantasy points last year. So, I mean, he gets touchdowns, and he's their clear RB1. So he goes in the second round. So that was he's a big value guy. I mean, whoever picked him up, props to them because they probably won their week. Another big thing was Devontae Adams got hurt. He does have a history of getting hurt.
Yeah.
So that's something to watch out for. It was his hamstring this week.
I think that's why Aaron Rodgers didn't have a huge passing game.
Yes. And that's the issue with the Packers is if Devontae Adams is out, what are they?
They're a good offense still in my books. I think the story for me is the Lions are in trouble.
I think the Lions, I'm looking at the receiving of that team right now. They are missing Galladay so much.
Yeah.
That Marvin Jones is not stepping up right now.
No, he had a touchdown pass, but 23 yards receiving isn't what you need from a guy who you think was going to be the number 1 wide receiver in that offense.
Yeah. So no one's really stepping up in that role. So when Galladay comes back, it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't think the Lions are shit. I mean, they had the Bears game won.
Yeah.
And they blew. That was on them.
And they also had a big lead in this game.
And they.
I mean, it's only 14-0 in the first quarter, but they look good.
I don't think they're that bad. I do not think they're that bad.
I think they're in trouble.
I don't think they're that bad. I might bet
Matt
on them
Patricia, I think his time there is coming to an end. Sorry, Matt, but I think you're done, brother.
Get the old can out of there. Okay, so you think the coach is going to get fired?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Avery's take on his coach, Patricia. Now we go to my Bills. Had to rock the old-fashioned hat today.
Congrats.
Thank you. Bills won 31-28. I took the spread. I was rattled that the Dolphins scored with a minute left. But overall, I mean, come on.
I'm just going to let you talk.
I mean, you had Josh Allen in your top 5, so it can't be. Did you have him in your top 5?
I don't think that's true.
You had him as an honorable mention, which is like not.
That's
that
good
doesn't mean
enough for
shit
you.
when, you know what I mean? I had him in my top 5. So I had him as top 4 fantasy QB. I repeat, fantasy QB. It means point production. Does not mean he's the best, top 4 best QB in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay? So he had 417 yards and 4 touchdowns. He looked like a beast. I'm pretty sure there's a video out there of him trucking a guy. Like, this guy can do it all. And I'm a big fan of him, obviously. Stephon Diggs, I mean, did I not call it? I mean, he had 1 touchdown, and I predicted 2. But he was my player of the week. He ended up tied for first for most fantasy points on our system for wide receivers. He was tied with Calvin Ridley. 8 receptions, 153 yards. Big takeaway from this game is that the Bills should have
Buried them.
They should have buried them. They didn't. Josh Allen was I think he was a little hesitating throwing down the field, and then when it came to a close game, he started slinging them. And I mean, they have John Brown and Diggs who are so fast. I mean, John Brown just runs right by corners.
Yeah.
So that was John Brown, I didn't think he was going to be a big fantasy play this year, but he's turning into a big weapon. So keep your eye on him. And I have a note here saying Fitzmagic is a solid fantasy QB.
As he's been for the past 7 years.
So that was my QB. And I think, that was my note. And I think the Dolphins, I think they have a star tight end on their hands.
Yeah.
I don't know about you about this game, but what did you think?
Jasicki, I started him for my fantasy team.
Really?
Yeah, I took Gallup out, put him in.
You put him in over Gallup?
Yeah, as a flex.
Wow.
Yeah, big brain stuff by me. Obviously, that's all you get from me.
That's what we do here.
Yes, sir. Yes, I think he was destined for a breakout year and kind of sidetracked that week 1. I think we're back on track, and I think he's good. And I think when Tua gets in, he'll be a favorite target of his.
I mean, how do you put Tua in, though? Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick was so good.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't so good, but he wasn't bad.
They just saw the blueprint of Patrick Mahomes waiting a year.
Yeah.
And the teams think that's how they're going to get an MVP quarterback. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we're going to have to try and find out.
Well, the difference is Mahomes had Alex Smith.
Yeah,
teaching
who was
him the
taking
ropes,
them to the playoffs still.
Who was a role model type of guy. I mean, Fitzpatrick is the type of guy to teach him how to go to the bar, you know?
That can't be true. You just fucking lie.
I just completely made that up. But he does seem like the type of guy who would be like that. So that's how I see it. I mean, I don't know about you, but obviously you see that a little different, but that's how I see it. So let's move on to the next game. This was a terrible game. This is why I took the under. The Colts beat the Vikings 28-11, and that under hit hard. I have a note here. The Vikings suck. Jonathan Taylor was a big talking point last week, and obviously he's a clear number 1. I mean, 26 carries. It's a lot of carries. So he's the guy. T.Y. Hilton's old.
Is he old or is he just?
I actually don't even know how old he is. They're just talking about how he looks old, so we should search that up.
How old do you think he is?
If I were to guess, dude, this is going to be way off.
Yes.
32?
Not way off.
33? What is it?
He's 30.
Okay, that was pretty close.
It's not that
So he's
old.
30. He's not that old. He was always the deep threat type of player, and I think he's just not as fast anymore as he used to be. I mean, you got to remember, he used to have some top QBs. I mean, was he there when Peyton was there? No.
2012.
So he was there when Peyton was there. Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew Luck, he's really good under Luck. That was when he was prime of his career.
So, I mean, he was pretty good last year with a bad QB situation. So, I think he's someone to watch out for. I feel bad for anyone who picked him up as a wide receiver 1. But I think I don't find the Colts are that good. I don't know about you, but what'd you think of that?
No, I'm not impressed by anything.
Paris Campbell's out for the year, is he not? He's their wide receiver too.
Yeah, and he was not there with Peyton, by the way.
He was not? I thought that.
No. Yeah, Paris Campbell's out. Ohio State boy. Sorry about that. I feel bad
That's
about
rough.
that. Colts are they didn't do anything for me. Phillip was good. He's good enough, but I'm not ready to make assumptions yet about them.
Okay.
Week 2, but I think the Vikings are. I'm ready to make an assumption about the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins is my least favorite quarterback in the league.
He's not that good.
He's shitty.
Yeah, he's not that good. So
He doesn't make me want to watch Vikings football. I bet on them. I thought Kirk, if you had any bit of soul, a little bit backbone, you might be able to win this game. But I think he's a spineless loser. He's not going to be good, and the Vikings are fucked.
that's some harsh words, Avery.
Yeah, and they lost me money.
Okay. So that's Avery's take on the Vikings. I had them as suck. Avery had Kirk Cousins as a spineless
Coward.
coward. Okay. So now we move on to the Pats Seahawks. This was a great game. I fell asleep in the third quarter, but I woke up for the end of it.
I fell asleep in the fourth quarter,
You missed the end of the game. That's way worse than what I did.
but I woke up and I saw that they
Okay.
covered.
So we both had money on the game. Seahawks won 35-30. It was not a confident win money. Like I was
No.
sweating at the end. But we got to talk about this Gilmore stat. I mean,
Talk about it.
so Metcalf just blew by him. And apparently Gilmore's never been beat to the end zone before.
I think that was last year. Was a stat.
If it is, then that's not like completely impressive. I thought it was ever. But if that is, then I shouldn't even have mentioned this on the podcast. But that's my bad. That's my bad if someone searches that up and I had it completely wrong. I thought it was ever.
Maybe.
So, anyways, but I mean, Russell Wilson, he's the MVP favorite, I would say.
Yeah, he looks great.
I mean,
They let him cook again.
I mean,
Not as
21.
much.
I got 21 for 28, 288 yards, 5 touchdowns. I don't think he's throwing the ball enough. I know we fought in our cave about this, but why don't you think he's throwing it? Like, do you think he should be throwing more?
Yeah, I think he should. Pete Carroll, run first guy.
Like,
Just let him throw the ball.
you don't
But-
run first when you got Russ.
No, but he got his chances. He was a lot like a deep ball threat. 5 touchdown passes, right? That's what you said. Like, that's fucked. That's an unbelievable week.
I mean, you look on the other side, and Cam Newton throwed 44 times on the other side.
That was the surprise. I think last week we saw Cam. Cam was healthy. He can use his legs. But this week, Cam just said, "Fuck it! Like I'll show you my arm too."
Yeah, there is a thing that one of their running backs was out, so it was a
Yeah,
James
White.
potential change in mentality where he knew he was going to have to throw, so he started throwing way more.
I think if one of their running backs was out, I think he would have thought that he would have to run more. Wouldn't that
himself.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't say he ran more than usual on the ground, but I mean he put up great stats. I mean the fact that no one wanted to pick this guy up, that just sickens me.
Stupid.
It's so
And
stupid.
the Panthers just let him go for nothing.
I mean, I can't blame the Panthers because like they
knew
they
it
let
was
him
over.
go. If no one wanted to trade for him, no one wanted to sign him, and they're not going to keep Cam as a backup. But Teddy Bridgewater is not better than Cam Newton.
No.
I'll tell you that. So, I mean, he's good. I think we come to the conclusion that he's good.
We got to talk about the last play of the game. So Cam Newton scores 2 rushing touchdowns on a quarterback keeper, kind of like a delay play.
He was unstoppable during the game.
Yeah, and he went left every time at the goal line. He's their big body, like he's tough to tackle. Bobby Wagner makes a great play in the hole.
Flips some.
Yeah, great play in the hole, breaks it up. They'd shifted the line. You saw that they all shifted right to hit that gap for him not to go through. And just what an unbelievable play for them to finish. I went back and I watched, and he was unstoppable on that drive. And for them to make that play was just championship play for a team I think will be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a big play by the Seahawks, big stop, and props to Cam Newton in that drive. I mean, that is not a drive of a league minimum QB right there.
No.
So I think Cam Newton, I mean, teams are going to be hitting themselves in the face. They should be hitting themselves in the face. So, certain teams should be.
Yeah.
But just good on the Patriots. I mean, they always get these guys. Like, are they the only ones with some brain on their team or what?
Yeah, they must be.
So Edelman is showing that the guy still has life in him. I mean, he looked exhausted, but he had 179 receiving yards. So that's good. And so that kind of wraps up everything, all the breakdown of every single game. As usual, we will be predicting the
Monday night game.
And we actually have a caller come in. A new segment we're going to do is have callers in. Today we got T-Mac.
Our close personal friend, degenerate.
Yep.
Great guy. We almost beat him in golf this weekend.
He can golf, but I don't know if he's as good as us, but
A lifelong Chargers fan.
big Chargers fan.
So we're going to ask him some questions.
Okay, give him a call. Let's hope he picks up.
Fellas, how are you?
How's
Tyler.
it going?
It's going.
So
What'd you think of that Sunday nighter?
we just talked about
Yeah,
it. You'll
we
have
just
to
talked
tune
about
in to hear our thoughts.
Oh, thank you. Thank God.
Yeah. So, Tyler, we know you're a Chargers fan. We were talking about Anthony Lynn and his quarterback thoughts. We would like to hear what you have to say about the quarterback situation.
I mean, first off, thrown into the fire like that, Herbert, incredible job, incredible opening drive. I mean, for some reason on that first down late in the fourth there, I guess the boogeyman was guarding the sticks, so he decided to throw it over the top to the other team. Other than that, he was great. I mean, for a guy who had to step in without any notice, he was really good. And Anthony Lynn needs to be saved from himself by Dean Spanos this week. I mean, Tyrod Taylor cannot play another snap for the LA Chargers as long as Justin Herbert can play.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, same thing we said.
So we know you're the best gambler ever. Mm-hmm. Not true. But we would like to hear your picks for this Monday night game.
Before I do get to that, I have to say, Harrison Butker, if I was him, after I made those 3 straight kicks to win the football game, I would be Sam Caswell from the Minnesota Timberwolves circa 2000. I would be
Sam
running
Cassell?
down the field. Yeah, Sam Cassell running down the field with my nuts in my hands after I drained a 58 to 53 yarder and just said, here I am again, 58 yards again, win the football game. Like, what a performance from him.
Yeah.
I wish he was on my team. But Monday nighter, plug your nose, just take the Raiders plus the points.
Yeah.
It changed to +4.
Favorites this week, boys. Here's a stat guy. 14-1. The favorites went this week. Now they didn't all cover the spread.
Yeah.
14-1 this week, the favorites. Hold your nose. Just take the Raiders. Take the points. Sprinkle the money line. Locked and loaded. That's a winner.
Yeah, I like that, Tyler. We also have one last thought. One last thing to ask you. We had you in a scramble this weekend on the golf course. Jer and I were unable to beat you. Mm-hmm. We just want to hear the listeners want to hear about Jeremy's golf skills. Please explain how Jeremy Roach is on the golf course.
He's the same guy on the golf course as he would be on the baseball diamond. Swings the driver like a baseball bat. The D-cell with the putter is just like, you need to get it on video. People need to see it.
It's coming soon.
The guy brings the putter head back like he's swinging a 7-iron and then slows it down for the 3-footers. Just the most ugly thing you'll ever see on the golf course. He probably has the same chance of making a 25-footer as he does a 3-footer.
That's the damn truth. But
I'm working on my putting technique.
he says he's working. He's doing the new hockey putting style that
Our
old
coach does.
BJ
Yeah.
coined as his own. But yeah, we're going to need to work on that. Well, T-Mac, thanks a lot.
Yep, thanks.
Hopefully we can make this a weekly thing if you're on board, and appreciate your insight.
Absolutely. I'll be 1-0 after tonight. Enjoy the game, boys.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
And that wraps up our podcast today. Stay tuned for next Thursday for our next episode.
Follow us on shit.
Follow us on TikTok. That's big now.
And Twitter. Don't forget Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter too. We're always on Twitter. But stay tuned for more content coming soon.
Let's go.